Hey everybody, Steven's having some problems today with the sound. So I'm going to do what I can to fill a few minutes while he jumps off and does some things to try to fix his sound. And, well, at any rate, so exciting today. I was asked to comment on some things that are happening with Facebook. So this is more of a Facebook in general discussion here at first. It is very interesting. They announced a week ago that a person that's been with the company for a very long time, his name is Chris Cox, is leaving, and that person was in charge of the news feed as you know it, which is, it's not your wall where you write things and you publish them. It's just that general news feed that everyone pops onto when they log into Facebook. So they're changing the focus of Facebook. They're moving the focus toward messaging, stories, and groups. I love it. I think it's awesome. It's awesome for me. The more people that focus on messaging and keeping it clear of spammers, the better off we will all be. That is fabulous as far as I'm concerned. And people being able to push their focus toward messaging, that's awesome as well. But yeah, a lot of people are kind of freaked out by this change a little bit, and so I want to kind of talk about my perspective on it. It's been a wild ride with Facebook, hasn't it, my friends? I logged on here the first time in 2008. And boy, has it changed since then. It has, I mean, it's sometimes, there have been times when it's been absolutely fabulous, and then there have been times when it's been, ugh, why am I reading this? And we've all had our ups and downs with it. I think that with this announcement that they're going to be moving away from the news feed as that central location they send people to by default, I think that that's great. It's not, this was announced about 6 days ago. It's not happening overnight, but I think it's a great thing. I myself have personally avoided the news feed for about 2 years. It's never been, it's just a river of, sometimes it's just a river of sludge, a river of things I don't want to know or pay attention to. At first, when it came out, you didn't have much control over what was in there at all. Now, at least you can unfollow people and block people and have a choice about, what is appearing in there. But I know, as business owners or as people are thinking about doing a business or doing a live stream or doing a bot, we've all got something to say. And the news feed has been a very frustrating place because you basically have to pay to play to be in there as a business anyway. So newsfeed, highly frustrating. And it appears that what they're doing is they're not going to devote a huge amount of energy toward fixing it. They're going to devote a huge amount of energy in other places in Facebook and let that news feed have let it die, basically. I think that's a great thing. Also, if you want to read, straight from the horse's mouth what the announcement was, I'll drop it in the comments for you. But to me, it's a good change. Companies that don't change die, Facebook included. You remember when MySpace was super popular and now it's completely dead? You remember when Google Plus was trying to come out, and that thing has been pulled by Google recently, in fact. Companies that don't change die. And I think that, of the, 10 years ago, there was the big four, right? Microsoft, Google, Apple, Facebook. Now it's Apple and Facebook are still kicking it because they've got they keep investing in what's the next direction going to be. So I don't know. I mean, I think that this is a sign that Facebook is going to adapt to what people want. Hopefully it will include more choice, about the different things that we can do within Facebook. Because that has always been a frustration of mine. I think that we just really don't, we just don't have a lot of choice about what's happening there. And that has been frustrating for me. I want to be able to dictate what I see in my newsfeed. I don't want an algorithm to tell me what what they think I should be seeing. I don't care for that. That's, I think there are a lot of other people that don't care for that either. So we'll see what the new direction holds. The Facebook newsfeed, from what I've been reading, it's not going to, shut down overnight. It's just going to become increasingly irrelevant. And not somewhere that we're pointed to. To me, that's just fine. That's great. I mean, it really was. I counting on being in someone's newsfeed anyway? Not really. What we're doing here at Bots for Broadcasters, what we're doing everywhere is we are deeply trying to make great, valuable content for the people who are watching. That's what we're trying to do. That's the mission. It's not, hopefully someone will scrolling by will see me. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we create valuable content for people, that I create valuable chatbots for people. That's what matters. I'm less afraid of what Facebook is going to do and more concerned with what can I bring you today that's going to be of value. So that's kind of, I'm along for the ride, obviously. It looks like, from the outset here that they're going to be putting more focus on the area that I work in, which I'm cool with it. And that's good stuff. So it may be a bumpy ride. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it just is. But I feel like they're headed in a good direction. If you look at what Facebook has been saying, for a while now, if you look at what Facebook's been saying about what their future direction is and what they want to do, they are, this is so very different, right? They're focused on bringing communities together. What has been, previously happening, I think it's been unintentional, but when people create something that's technologically magnificent, the people that created it want to hone that system into being the most magnificent thing possible. They shift their focus from the people they're serving to what they've built. And I think, this happens all the time. It happens all the time with stuff that's technologically awesome. The tough thing is that when you take your focus from people, hey, Stephen, what's up?
I'll tell you a story afterwards, but carry on for the moment. I do apologize for interrupting.
Yeah. When you take your focus from the people that you're serving and make it more about what you and your product can do, you suffer. There are consequences for that. And I think that Facebook has seen those consequences. And I think that they're making a right turn or a left turn. They're making some kind of turn. And yeah, I'm along for this ride because I think that they're headed, no matter where they've been, they're headed in a new direction and a good one. And I'm on board for that. I'm on board to see what's next. So
I'm confused.
Tell me.
I'm confused. Nothing new there then. Yeah, I was listening to Mari Smith yesterday, and I was getting more and more confused.
Did you now let me ask you this, because I think that a lot of people miss this step. Did you read what Facebook said, or did you listen?
I listened. I should have
listened to somebody else's interpretation. I know, right?
Yeah.
There's, and I read a couple of news articles about it. The news articles are all about what's going to happen next. Oh my God. And if you read the announcement, it's like, hey, we're going in this direction now. Come hang out with us. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal.
Okay.
So I didn't watch Mari yesterday. I generally don't, but
Right.
yeah, that's kind of what, if you read the announcement,
Okay.
it's not
Well,
that.
what's happening to newsfeed then?
So it is just going to become increasingly irrelevant over time. I don't think that they are shutting the lights out on it, but they recognize that it's a place that has been a source of a lot of pain for people, a source of a lot of spam and garbage. And I think that they are moving, the announcement says they're moving toward messaging, yay,
Yeah.
stories, and groups.
Okay.
They're putting all the focus there, and they're no longer going to focus any effort or energy on the newsfeed. And eventually, they're going to start focusing us away from the newsfeed as well. You know, when you log into Facebook, that's the first thing you see, especially on your phone.
That's where the news comes from.
Yeah, right. They're gonna just, that is no longer going to be, don't know when that's happening, might be months from now. I assume that in May, when they have the F8, the developers conference, that we'll learn a lot more about what's going to be happening. I don't see, we won't see much change till then. But but yeah, that's, and they're also moving toward privacy and encryption. So that's also, I think that is a super cool move. That is what people want, and they have been clamoring for it on Facebook for so long. Facebook's finally listening to folks on that.
That's what the people want, but it's not what governments want.
Yeah.
It does stronger. Matter.
Yeah, it matters, but to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Yeah, governments don't want that. And I think that, you know, I mean, there's a lot to say on that topic, and I don't know much on that topic, but yeah, that's a fight Facebook needs to fight.
They're watching and listening to us.
Oh, well, of course they are.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
And if we say a phrase that is on their blacklist, then they'll investigate more. But if they can't actually read what's written, if it's encrypted and they can't break it, which they shouldn't be able to anyway, they can't break it, then not only do we have freedoms because nobody can see what we're saying, but so does anybody who's using, I'm going to say this carefully, who's using Messenger or WhatsApp for nefarious purposes.
Sure.
Yeah. They will have freedom too. So our encryption comes at a price.
It always does, and it's a fine line. I mean, we could get into a long discussion about that, and there are people on both sides of that argument, and both sides have concerns.
Yeah.
It just depends on which one you're more concerned about, and you know, which people get to have the power over that. And for me, yeah, okay. I just, that's a long discussion, and we're way off the topic of bots.
Well, it's tangentially related because of Messenger.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You know, I'm very interested in what's going to happen there and the focus there. I know there are people that are like, you know, they're gonna, you know, they're fearing what's going to happen. It's like, don't fear what's going to happen. Embrace what Facebook says they're going for, and see if you can provide an experience that follows that. Stop fighting the system. You know what I mean?
No intention of. I mean, it's too big.
Yeah.
And if you go anywhere else, you're actually going off into the desert.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, Google Plus disappears this month.
I thought it already did.
Reminder to everybody, you have to sort of back up anything that useful you put on there using the tools provided by Google. And you have until March 31st to do that, because on April 2nd, they actually switch the whole thing off. The whole shooting match disappears.
Mm-hmm.
But as they close one thing, they open another. Have you heard of Strada? That's Google's new gaming platform.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Okay. Right.
Tell me about it.
Right. They have announced it. They announced it yesterday, and it is the ability to play games over the internet and to stream at the same time. It sounds very familiar. It will have a monthly fee. You can use any piece of hardware that you can lay your hands on. Any piece of hardware. So it's not, it'll accept anything. And you can stream and game at the same time. Now, as with most things, Google are a little bit late to the party, but they are potentially going to offer that you can pay so much a month and then play the games that you choose, which would be a game changer. They said, sorry, because normally now you've got to actually buy the game, haven't you?
So you only pay for their service. You're not paying for games anymore?
Well, they will pay the gamers in the same way that Netflix pays the films.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably got the name wrong
Netflix
as
for
well.
streaming. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
interesting.
Yeah. Let's try to. I can't find it. Yeah, it is Strada. I think so. Okay. Well, obviously we're still off the tangent really, but people are joining us, which is good. The news has just gone out from Facebook that we're live after 18 minutes. That's a record, really. Facebook reminders have just gone out. So welcome to the show. This is RJ and Stephen talking ostensibly about bots for broadcasters. I'll bring the title up on the screen to remind myself what we're talking about more than anything, because I've been off at tangents. There you are. Got it back. Okay, now, as mentioned last week, it is in the UK Don't Stream and Drive Day on April 16th. And we started this week using ManyChat Messenger bots to bring people into Messenger so that we can message them the day before with tweets they can send out, Facebook posts they can repost, Pinterest pins they can repin, a whole range of things, because we're not tied to any one social network. And people are starting to come in. And we did a test post that went okay. Then we did a video description to the thing is that people, as soon as you say bots, people get frightened. So before people got frightened, I made a short video explaining exactly what happens from the moment that you actually type in the magical letters DSAD, and exactly what happens and why you're not going to get spammed. And you're actually talking to Neil, you're not talking to a bot, and all of that. And people are starting to join, and it is looking good. Heavy promotion between now and the 16th of April, but ManyChat can take it. We're only using, you love this, I know, but apologies in advance, RJ. We're using a ManyChat landing page, and I'm using, I'm just going to put it fleetingly on screen, the QR code, which again, I put an explanatory video, which is only 10 seconds long, because that's all it takes to do it. So there's two of our tools, and then Neil is going to be broadcasting between now and then, and each of the broadcasts will have a keyword bot on it, a growth tool. And if people type DSAD, then they're taken into Facebook Messenger and they can talk to Neil. So the tagline that I'm using is talk to Neil. Yep. Mm-hmm. Not to a bot, just simply talk to Neil.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's ongoing. And that's quite a good use of bots. I'm going to refine it. If I've got problems, can I ask?
Sure.
Good. Okay. Because what I want to do with the bot afterwards is to actually release it into the wild, and that any charity or cause use it, because there is very few ways of actually gathering people together without fundraising. I mean, you can open a Just Giving page and get people to donate, but if you could get an awareness campaign going using BeLive or another broadcasting system, and actually collect people's messenger things, then that would work well. And it would be a low-cost way of doing it as well. No newspaper adverts, no television adverts, just talking to the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the way that it works best.
Yeah. Yeah. That is why it works best.
Indeed. Okay. Right. My apologies for the start of the show. I did install some software this morning, which took over my speakers. I could not hear you, so I tracked it down pretty well, reasonably quickly, and I won't do that again.
It's fine. You're a human being, Stephen. It works out.
Yes, I am. And like all, prone to the odd. Well, things don't always go right.
Exactly.
And it's how you handle them. And thank you for starting the show, getting things underway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure anybody's watching us today. If you are watching, say hello. We're at Facebook is being Facebook at the moment. If you're watching this on replay, then welcome. Now, any hot topics this week apart from Facebook changes?
I don't have any hot topics going on. Just a lot of work, and that's good stuff.
Work's good. Yeah. I still like to be able to change the name, though, of messenger bots to messenger assistants. I think that's becoming increasingly important when you're dealing with the general public.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I try not to use the word because it's misleading. Yep. So I try to call it what it is. Assistant is good. Delivery person is good. It's a delivery system technically. So message delivery, courier. I mean, there's so many things that you could say. So absolutely, why not do that?
Well, I think you can do that when you're talking to your own audience. Yeah. Obviously, when we're in Facebook groups, the problem is that everybody uses the word bot because it's cool. But it ain't, because it frightens people, genuinely frightens people. And the more friendly that systems are, the more likely people are to use them. Yeah. Yep. Which is why you when you say each messenger assistant should have a personality of its own, which you've created, I firmly believe in that.
Yeah. Yeah. No one wants to talk to a robot ever.
No.
No.
Indeed. Right. Welcome to the show. We've no ostensible topic this week, and I don't know. I just think that we're fortunate to be here at a time when messenger bots are in their infancy, and we're getting to know all about them from the inside. And I'm looking forward to our next messenger bot course, which we must talk about sometime, because we've got so many different ideas.
Yeah.
About Twitch bots and charity bots, and whether you have the time.
Yeah, that's a big question. That's a tough one.
Yeah. I know how you feel about that. And being busy is good. Busy is good. Weekly question about your people developing the bot with the AI?
Actually, they requested a meeting, so I should be seeing some stuff in prototype format next week sometime.
And that's True Chat.
Yep, True Chat. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, memory's working today. TRUCHAT. So we can look forward to seeing that in the coming months.
Yeah, we can. I'm really excited about it. They're a group of people that are working really hard to build a good platform, and I'm always looking for new opportunities, particularly to work with, not against, some of the platforms we have going on right now.
And the thing is, the bots can work in harmony, and I want to give a shout out to typing the name in. Spell it correctly would help, wouldn't it? Okay, to Autoresponder Bot, who are serving the Live Video Hub very successfully. And basically the way it works now is that everybody who goes on Live Video Hub puts a show up there. I sort of take it and I redirect it back to the original page so that anybody watching on the Live Video Hub gets a personal message, personal reply, which says this is where they're actually broadcasting. If you want your comments on screen, go there. And the other thing is that I'm also networking, because once I've set that up, I have to test it. Yeah. And in testing it, because I type in that just have a great show is what I type in. And then I get a reply from Autoresponder Bot. And that reply gives me a link. So then I go to the link and I type in have a great show on the link. Now that on their page, that means that I'm doing 50 conversations a week, which wouldn't take place without messenger bots, because I'm not broadcasting, I'm actually talking to people, and conversations start from there. And those people are becoming stronger friends in certain cases and new friends as well. So it is network building, because I'm approaching everybody individually, show by show, person by person. And there is a show later tonight, which is run by Joy, and she has Tina as her guest.
Mm-hmm.
So I do know, I think that's going out later tonight. So that's one to actually check out. So bots can help you build a network.
Yep, absolutely. That's what they're for, really. I mean,
right.
Creating relationships, that's what it's all about. It's what business has been all about since the beginning of time, probably.
That's true. Try telling some people that. I got invited, I'm not going to name names, I'll just keep this short. I got invited to a group, and the invitation said, go and like something and comment. Well, of course you're going to do that. Times have changed. We don't do that anymore.
Mm-mm.
We like and comment when we want. You can't ask people to do it. I mean, things have changed. 10 years ago, you could. If you asked somebody to share something 10 years ago, they would, because they knew down the line you'd share something of theirs. That doesn't happen to the same extent now. I think we've all got over the sharing phase, and you share content if you're genuinely enjoying it. You don't need to be asked. And you like something when you genuinely like it, not being asked to like something. Though having said that, Live Audio Hub is at 1,995. No, I'm not going there. 95 likes. Okay, now your webinar.
Oh, yesterday. Mm-hmm.
How did it go?
Went great. For those of you who don't know, I did a webinar yesterday with Ari Tobe, who is a guy that makes documentaries. He makes documentaries about entrepreneurs and puts them on Roku, Amazon Prime, puts them on TV basically. And he and I were talking about how do you, how do we live streamers, what would be a good reason to take advantage of that? What would be a good reason to make that happen, or what's a great way to repurpose something like that once you have it done? So it was very interesting. Got a lot of great questions answered. Ari did, and I'm going to make the replay available as soon as Ari has it done.
Brilliant. Right, we have a question from Jack and ManyChat. Is this a good platform to use?
It's a good platform to start from. Jack, it is. It's a good platform to start from. I'm using it as my main platform right now for all of the bots that I build. The one thing that you have to watch out for, just in general, is the beta tag. Watch out. Those features are sometimes not all the way cooked, and I've run into trouble using things sometimes with the beta tag on them. And also, customer service continues to be an issue, and continues to be one of those things that makes me look outside that platform a little bit and start to explore options, because I really value customer service, and I want to be with a company that values it too. But ManyChat's a great place to start. Pop onto there and see what kind of trouble you can get into.
I agree with everything that RJ said. It is a great place to start, and we have a course all about it. If you hop over, right? Okay, Jack's got a second question. If you want help at all, Jack, then you should search on Facebook for black belt bots, and you can't go wrong. The people who run it know what they're talking about. They walk the walk, talk the talk, and they're sitting next to me right now. So, in other words, talk to RJ. Is what
I'd love to help you, Jack. It's a good place to start for sure, and it's one of the longest running chatbot platforms out there. So it has a lot of features. So it can do a lot of things that the others can't. So great place to check out.
And it does them so simply as well. I mean, the interface is a joy to work with. And it does what you want it to do. And providing you don't, as you said, touch the beta buttons, then you're going to have good results. I mean, yeah. the key thing about this is email versus messenger assistance.
Well, yeah, with email, it's a place where people go to work. It's a place where people go to because they have to. When people open Messenger, they're used to talking to people and companies they care about. So being a company that they care about is a big deal. Being a business they care about. So yeah, it's the email open rates are abysmal these days and continue to drop. Messenger open rates are pretty darn outstanding. Open and click-through rates and engagement. So it's where I have taken my communications.
I've lost sound again.
You've lost sound again? Okay. All right. So I'm on screen again. And for right now, Jack, I can't see your comments because Steven's got control of that. So I'm just going to fill for a few minutes here and hope that Steven can rejoin.
That's okay. I'm back now. I'm back. I'm sorry, RJ. I'm having one of those days.
Yeah, I understand.
All I can say is, with all due deference and apologies, I'm glad it's happening now and not in half an hour. Yeah. Because I'm actually producing the show. Yeah. So I'm not going to touch anything. I'm not going to switch anything off at all. I'm not going to change any settings until 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm not going to touch a thing.
Probably
then I'm going to uninstall everything I've installed in the last 2 days. Then we'll be back to where we were when it was working yesterday. Yes. Don't, as a word of common sense, do not install software on a production machine when you're due to go live. It's the thing I've learned today.
Right.
And I'm going to promise myself that I won't do it again.
You won't. You'll be fine.
Until next time. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Jack, thank you for the questions, and hopefully we've pointed you in the right direction. ManyChat is the place to start with your messenger assistant, as it's now known. Yeah, always good. Right, we need to bring some topics together for next week's show, I feel. We need something to happen. Or we need questions.
Audience would be good too.
That's true. I mean, one of the things that kicks things off is, well, thank you, Jack, for your questions and comments, is involvement from the audience. And that's under Facebook's control at the moment. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. But we always record with the recording in mind. And this show will be repurposed. And you'll find the recording of the show with the breaks that have been in it on iTunes and on Stitcher, possibly. Because it's I've got something I want to talk about, but I can't. I promised I wouldn't. I promised I wouldn't. So that's the cat out of the bag now, isn't it? No, I'm not going to talk about it. I'll mention it to you next week. Okay. Right. Okay. Sound of silence.
Right. Well, maybe we should wrap it up for the day, Stephen. I know you've got the live stream to prepare for that you're producing here in a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good. To everybody who's watched us today, thank you. And it's over to RJ to close the show.
All right. We've talked about a lot of things today. Facebook is making some changes, some movement over to Messenger and more focus there. Really happy about that. And I'm along for the ride, and we'll see what happens in Chatbot Future. Stephen?
Take care, everybody. We'll see you again next week. Bye for now.